So these are all of you, doesn't matter, come up so that we can get a picture of everybody here together and we can shake your hand and say thank you. If we don't get you captured together, it's all we like. We'll get Reagan to take the photo for us. Thank you. Now I gotta go back through and find them. Just good as located. You're right. Well, you're right on top. That's where you need to be.
I know. Anyway, you went this stuff out.
Which band there? Band there. Rock out. Gentlemen, thank you all. We appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'll shake all your hands. Good to see you again. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you all. All right, come on. Come on. Get in here. We're going to tighten up a little bit, or are you going to be all right?
Just a little tiny bit. Mostly like.
Very good.
Show your check.
What's that work? How's that work?
Look, clap.
1, 2, 3, 4. Looks good.
Great. Oh, Gary, you get it or you need it?
Okay.
All right, you good? Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it so much. Thank you. And the doors are always open, so if you have other suggestions or whatever.
I don't speak for everyone, but I can tell you that WR Castle and most of us greatly appreciate the continued support from our fiscal court, and county judges, and everything that you do for us, because it makes a difference. It makes a difference in the ability for us to buy the equipment for our communities, which in turn makes lower insurance rates for our community, and that saves them money. This is the indirect payment to making the community safer and the equipment we need. So we greatly appreciate everything.
Well, thank you all, and Paul, the comments are well taken, because that's, and I want to say this so we get on record, but not only is it providing public safety, but an indirect benefit, but some people see as a direct benefit, obviously, is the fact that you're providing coverage for them to get an ISO rating that gives them a better insurance rate for their homes, and that's what is one of those pieces that makes this community so great.
Most of our fire chiefs have to deal with insurance companies and real estate. And you think, well, why real estate? Because the lower the insurance rate, the easier it is to sell that piece of property in that community. And it goes hand in hand. Yeah, we greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Like I said, shortly after the first of the year, we'll be reaching out to you again. We want to continue to try to provide some additional funding, and coal severance has been one of those sources in the past, and that's been able to do that. And we think that this year, we're still going to be in a position where the fiscal court can continue to provide that additional funding. But we're going to have to we're going forward, we've got to start growing our economy as best we can, because coal severance is one of those things that just is not going to hold out, much longer. Just because it's, we all know what that industry's like these days, and so every county's suffering. But we're going to continue to try to be as creative as we can, and continue to find the sources to help support. So we're always open for suggestions, though.
Thank you.
Anything else from you all that I didn't want to? All right. One other announcement I want to make. With Steve here, we tend to always try to update on our efforts to work on quality of life and roadside garbage pickup. And Steve and Monica Spriggs have spearheaded that very well this year. Monica's been in training the last couple of days. She's not here this evening, but I don't have any bag totals, but we're over 2,300 bags, I think, for the year, are we not, Steve?
Should be. Should have broke over 100 miles, I think.
And over 100 miles, so they've done an exceptional job. But I've said in the past that, that we want to step up our activities, I guess, as it relates to trying to help manage littering and garbage pickup. And I said last month, I think it was last month, that, you know, we want people to be more personally responsible for their actions as it relates to this, because it affects our entire community. And it certainly can be an unsightly situation for us in our community. But I want to share with you all something that happened recently, and this goes back to what Steve has been doing. And he was made aware of a situation where there was some littering that was done, and he actually located the individuals that had littered our highways, and they were cited for that, and were actually taken to court, and were, I guess, punished for their littering, several hours of community service.
Rewarded, we would say.
Yeah.
Rewarded for their action.
Yeah, and so these individuals, you know, violated state laws of littering against the highways, and Steve was able to identify who they were, bring it to the attention of the court system with County Attorney Mike Endicott. And those folks were actually, one has already been to court, the other one is due in court, and the one that's been there was given several hours of community service for violating that law. I can't emphasize enough, you know, how important it is that we continue to try to improve our community. And one thing we do so is trying to keep our trash picked up. And Steve and Monica and the community service people and the inmates that they take out, they can do that probably every day of the week. But until we start changing our behavior and we stop doing that, they'll never keep up. What they're doing is very helpful, but we'll never keep up with the volume that's being put out there if we don't change our behavior. And so I guess what happened recently with those individuals that Steve identified, I think it's just one of those ways we make a statement that we're serious about trying to correct this situation in our community. So I want to thank Steve for his efforts in that. It's obviously been very helpful. But we'll keep doing the roadside pickup, and hopefully we'll start taking more personal responsibility and changing behavior in our community to where where we don't have a big issue with what we currently have. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
We have approval to pay bills. There's a few miscellaneous bills in there that was left from last meeting that Betty has put in the packet for us to approve. If you have any questions on those, we'd be happy to answer them. One of them actually involves the individuals that are in the room with the fire departments. And Gary can speak to this if we need additional explanation, but the first bill actually there is the funding for the Code Red system, which obviously is a emergency management system. It's Code Red for that, for standard and weather warning. And so this is a fee that's paid every year, Gary, correct? And I think that is in part, I think it's also a participating cost maybe from the city of Paintsville, I think.
Yes, based on population.
Because it serves every citizen in the county, including the city. So, but anyway, that's the first bill that's on top. But if you have any other questions about any other bills, just please feel free to ask. And if not, we'll entertain a motion to approve the bills.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sagerton, second by Commissioner Gerald. All in favor? Any opposed? Next item is to amend the sheriff's budget. This is a request made by Sheriff Saylor. You have that in front of you. This is where he is amending it to take into account the increase in funds from CLEF funding and from the school resource officer and the expenditure account where he is assigning that. I think that's about all the explanation, Betty. I mean, it's just a request by him to amend the budget, so we need to approve that. Motion to approve by Commissioner Adams. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sager. Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is approval to surplus some equipment from the road department. But I'm going to ask that we table this for this evening. I think there was some question about maybe the correct identity on the truck. We were working off of an inventory list that we may need to just clarify that. So if we could be okay with the court, I would like to table that to a future meeting, please. So we make sure we get that, because that's going to go, obviously, to be advertised, and we want to make sure that information is correct. We were working off some information that we had found in a file that we probably need to confirm before we move forward. So, and we'll confirm that with Ed also on the insurance policy. So we'll table that to the next meeting. Next item is a report from emergency management. We didn't have that last week, Gary. We have your report this meeting. Is there anything on there that you need to comment on related to it?
Just a couple of things I want to point out. Of course, we continue to work with all the schools, city independent schools, Johnson County schools, and doing our safety drills. I think last month we was at Iowa Elementary, and you also see on there that we kind of had our first initial meeting, a school safety committee. And when I talk about school safety committee, I'm talking about both systems, both school systems together. And we all see a great need for all of us and all agencies, all the first responders, the schools, everybody involved, to have a little bit better plan in case something does happen. With that being said, it could be a man-made event, or it could be a natural event. We've experienced those in the past. So we've had an initial meeting with the school safety people, the administrators, myself, law enforcement, fire department, and we're scheduled to meet again sometime after the holidays. But this is going to be an ongoing thing, and the main thing I want to accomplish, everybody knows what each other's plans are. We need to share those plans because that will be the main obstacle if we do have an emergency. And what happens throughout the United States almost on a daily basis, we feel like there's a great need to do that and work on that. So that's one of the main things we've been working on the past month, and I'm hoping it'll turn out to be a good working relationship with everybody, and I think it will be. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions for Gary about this report? We'll entertain a motion to approve the report.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Terrell. Second. Second by Commissioner Adams. Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? The next item on the agenda is an executive session. This is per KRS 61.810, paragraph B. This is related to the acquisition of real property. We'll go into executive session to discuss this. Won't hold you guys. The executive session shouldn't last just a few minutes, but you're obviously welcome to stay or go either one. But we will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Motion by Commissioner Sager. Second. Second by Commissioner Gerald. All in favor?